Is it Animal Crossing?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
What?
Wait, no, it's me.
what-
It's me.
It's a Tomodachi Life!
Oh my god.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Okay, maybe the sight of 4 handsome men hooting and hollering at a silly little life sim game starring the nearly 20-year-old Miis is a bit strange to you. A bit goofy. Even, dare you say, a bit hyperbolic. I would agree, to an extent, being the pogging, glasses-wearing fool in the bottom left-hand corner of that frame. I only agree to an extent though, because Tomodachi Life Living the Dream is a decade-plus dream of mine. I've been waiting for a new Tomodachi title since falling in love with Tomodachi Life on 3DS in 2014. However, what I didn't know at that time, and what countless others still don't know now, is that Tomodachi Life wasn't a new IP. Indeed, it was actually a sequel to a 2009 Japan-exclusive DS game called Tomodachi Collection.
The game was made by Nintendo Software Planning and Development Production Group 1, a team now known as EPD7. Tomodachi Collection has a crazy story behind it. I swear what I'm about to tell you is true. The game started out as fortune-telling diary for adult women, an idea that the creator of Metroid, Yoshio Sakamoto, had been working on. In 2005, he passed the project along to SPD developers, including Ryutaro Takahashi, who would be the chief director of Tomodachi Collection and co-director of Tomodachi Life. The game's premise is less important than its larger goal. Fortune-telling diary for adult women was supposed to be for adult women, a group that game companies mostly didn't focus on. We don't know much about fortune-telling diary for adult women outside of one key detail. The game was going to include an avatar creator.
After Mr. Iwata caught wind of this avatar feature, he ran it past Mr. Miyamoto, who'd been trying to crack the avatar creator idea since the Super Nintendo era. He loved the simplicity of fortune-telling diaries' take. Miyamoto had trialed various avatar creators prior, but they were all too complicated. This new idea was so good, with just the right amount of depth. The idea stuck. Takahashi and other developers on the project like Naoko Okamoto were whisked away on an important mission that froze fortune-telling diaries development. They were tasked with inserting this avatar creator into the Wii system. Those avatars would, of course, become the Miis. In less than 6 months, the team got the job done, building both the Mii Maker and Mii Channel. So yes, without fortune-telling diary for adult women, not only would there be no Tomodachi Collection, there would be no Miis.
Creating the Miis was a big task for the team, which was made even more impressive by how young the group was. Okamoto, for example, was in her first year as a Nintendo employee. One of the most important inventions in all of Nintendo's history came from a group of fresh-faced devs, solving a problem that stumped even Miyamoto himself. With the rockstar reputation of having pioneered the Miis, Takahashi and his young team met again with SPD-1, returning to Fortune-Telling Diary for Adult Women in 2007. But now, the project was reborn as Tomodachi Collection. It was restarted for a couple of reasons, the biggest being a shift in its target audience. Remember, Fortune-Telling Diary was meant to appeal to adult women specifically. But by 2007, it was obvious that Satoru Iwata's idea to get non-traditional gamers to play Wii and DS was a major strategic success. Everyone was playing DS, adult women included, so Fortune-Telling Diary wasn't as big of a deal anymore. Tomodachi Collection changed to respond to this new, much bigger audience, wanting to entertain players of all ages and genders.
But the 2-year development didn't go well. While a development cycle like that might seem short by today's standards, it was a real drag for the team. Many of its members didn't even get why the game was fun or interesting until literally the last few months of development. The team was demoralized and unsure of what the heck they were even making. This ultimately begs the question, what were they making? The short version is that SPD-1 were making the most ridiculous life sim/god game ever, where you set your Miis up in an apartment where they go about living their lives with only moderate interaction from the player since you don't control them directly.
You'd feed them food, give them gifts, watch them fall in love, play piano, sing Mad Lib songs, and have kooky dreams, generally just screw around, all set to a real-world clock. You'd do a lot of waiting, and a lot of listening to your Miis saying weird shit. Tomodachi Collection and Tomodachi Life, which are very similar, are weird games about weird vibes with a weird sense of humor. They're really just Tamagotchi, but with a goofy Nintendo energy. They've got a little Animal Crossing and a lot of Blue Ocean spirit. And the weirdness, well, that's all WarioWare. Takahashi and other members of the development team had worked extensively on that series. Bill Trinan, the internet's favorite Nintendo translator and direct host, was interviewed by Polygon about finally localizing Tomodachi Life on 3DS. He said, "It's not really a simulation. You could hardly even really call it a game. It's really its own living, breathing world, and it's a place where Mii characters, particularly mere characters of your friends, family, and people you know, potentially even your favorite celebrities if that's who you decide to put in there, come together in this living, breathing world and experience life in incredibly whimsical, amazing, and unexpected ways.
That same vision is at the heart of Tomodachi Collection. Again, these share so much in common that they're almost like the same game, life just has so many more features. Kinda like Dobutsu no Mori on N64 versus Animal Crossing on GameCube. So imagine being a year into the development of this strange, living, breathing Mii world. It's easy to understand why even the developers had no idea whether the final product would even turn out well. They certainly couldn't have expected it to have sold 2 million copies by the end of 2009 following its June launch. In a seminar from that same year featuring Iwata, Miyamoto, and various members of the Tomodachi Collection staff, Masanori Ono, who programmed much of the game during what was only his 4th year at Nintendo, said the following about the game's success. Tomodachi Collection is a game where people who you know and are close to you like your friends appear. If you had friends who were in a play or playing a concert, even if you didn't particularly have interest in theater or music, you would probably go, right? That's because it'd be really easy to talk amongst your friends or acquaintances. Okamoto built on this idea, saying, furthermore, spying on other people and gossiping is fun in and of itself, so I think it's that fun that comes from human relationships in the game that made it such a hit.
Tomodachi Collection became this fantastical life sim that mixed together the real world and digital world. It was equal parts boring and wild. It was something you'd want to check in on often, a game that made you want to see what your Miis were up to see what hilarious situations that someone like your grandma's Mii would end up in. Iwata called Tomodachi Collection the ultimate viral family and friend game. Bill Trinan later said in his Polygon interview that when we come to Tomodachi Life, it's really that idea of, what if everybody you saw in those funny videos on YouTube were actually people that you knew? Since it came out, Tomodachi Life has kept on building its reputation as a sleeper hit with Gen Z, since the game is massively popular on YouTube and TikTok. On top of all of that, if the social media response to Living the Dream is any indication, this game is going to be the biggest Tomodachi has been so far. The announcement of the game is Nintendo of Japan's most liked tweet in history, ahead of even the reveal tweet for the Switch 2. Looking back, it is crazy that Iwata called Tomodachi viral all the way back in 2009. He had no idea what was coming.